Hello, how are you? Today I come to mention about the mysteries of Jerusalem or Masjid Al-Aqsa, the Holy Temple in Islam or in Qur'an. So last time we told you that part 1 and part 2. This is our third episode or part 3. So today we talk about what. Let us now consider chapter or surah 70 by itself. That means Surah Al-Isra. It is open with the night of journey of the Holy Prophet. He was transported from the sacred mosque of Mecca to the farthest mosque of Jerusalem. Aqsa meaning the meaning of Aqsa is the farthest mosque. In a night, shown some of the sign of Allah. The majority of commentators take this night journey literally. The Hadith literature give detail of this journey, and it is study help to elucidate its meaning. The Holy Prophet was first transported to the seat of the earlier revelation in Jerusalem, and then taken through the seven heaven, even to the sublime throne of God. So that we must understand, today we will tell you about the story of Aqsa or Holy Temple. The reference to this great story of Miraj is a fitting prelude to the journey of the human soul in its religious growth in life. The first step in such growth must be through moral conduct, the reciprocal right of parents and children, kindness to our fellow men, courage, and firmness in the hour of danger. A sense of personal responsibility and a sense of Allah, God, presence through prayer and praise. The Mi'raj is usually dated to the 27th night of month of Rajab. So other dates, example 70th of Rabi al-Awwal, are also given in the year before the Hijrah. This fixes the date of the opening verses of Surah. So portion of the Surah may be little earlier. So the spiritual exercise of the Prophet of Allah are given in order that Allah's sign may be made clear to man. Man is misled into evil and must be guided to a sense of personal responsibility. So that we must understand about our service to Allah is shown to also in our human relation, goodness to parents, kinsmen, and strangers in want, as well as kindness to children, purity in sex relation, justice and respect for human life, protection of orphans, probity in all dealing, and avoidance of arrogance. Allah's glory is above all comparison, and the reception of His revelation, mark of the man of faith from those who do not believe, but the believers should speak fair and avoid the dissension, for Allah does encompass all men. Pride caused the fall of the devil, Lucifer, but the children of Adam have been raised in excellence above other creation. They will be judged by their deeds. Prayer is good at set times and at night, and the Quran is offered as healing and mercy. Inspiration of the Quran is a sign of Allah's grace, and a man should accept it without making carping excuse. Be humble in prayer and praise. So that now we are start the story of Isra, the true story of Al-Aqsa. Allah say, in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Surah means chapter 71. Glory to Allah, our God, who did take his servant for a journey by night from the sacred mosque to the farthest mosque, whose precinct we did blaze, or we blaze around it. Allah say, in order that we may to show him some of our sign, for he is the one who hears and sees all things. So that we must understand, Allah is saying that he is masjid is a place of a prayer, as we know. So God take Prophet Muhammad from Masjid al-Kaaba, Makkah. It had not yet been cleared. That means at that time from idol. But after that, God that means took by night from Mecca to one true God, to the heaven. But through where? Through Aqsa, Temple of Solomon. The furthest mosque, Al-Aqsa, must refer to the site of the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem. That is the site on the hill of Moriah, at or near which stands the dome of the rock. That means we must understand there is a dome of the rock, called also the Mosque of Hadrat Umar. This and the mosque known as the furthest mosque, Masjid Al-Aqsa, were complete by the Amir Abdul Malik in 68 Hijri. Furthest because it was the place of worship. Furthest west, the western for children of Israel to worship what? This mosque. Allah called him, that means called Masjid Al-Aqsa. Those mosque now which is built by Abdullah Malik in 68, or Umar ibn al-Khattab, was not present when this revelation is that means revealed to Prophet Muhammad, because this revelation is that may come to Prophet before how 14th century. So that understand, Muslim must understand by the Amir Abdul Malik in 84. So that because it was the place of worship for just west, which was known to the Arabs in the time of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, it was a sacred place to both Jewish and Christians. The sacred place for Jewish and Christians, and also after Prophet ﷺ came, Muslims is where? That is Masjid Al-Aqsa. But the Christians then had the upper hand at the time of Prophet Muhammad, as it was included in Byzantine, also the Byzantine Roman Empire, which maintained a patriarch at Jerusalem. The chief dates in connection with the temple are: it was finished by Solomon. This temple, the first temple, was first built by what? Sulaiman or Solomon, 1004 BC, then destroyed by the Babylonian under Nebuchadnezzar about what? 586 BC, and also it is rebuilt after that means children of Israel that means stay for 70 years, 70 years in Babylon. Then they come back and rebuilt under Ezra, we call in Islam Uzair, and Nehemiah about 550 BC. The second temple was built, turned into height, and that means after that it is turned into height and idol temple by one of that means Alexander's successors, Antiochus Epiphanes, 167 BC, restored by Herod BC 70 to 29 AD, completely razed to the ground by the emperor of Titus. That means after Jesus Christ come in 70 AD, the second temple was destroyed. We call now that means the second temple, destruction of the second temple was after Jesus Christ was risen, who destroyed Titus. So that this up and down are among the greatest sign in religious history, we must understand. So that we are now talking about what? The temple mount, where dome of the rock is present, now is where the Suleiman temple was present before. So we must understand the time of the duration of that means destruction of the holy temple. Our aim is to clarify between Muslims, either Christians and Jewish, and to unite them and to come to one religion. That means the religion of Abraham. There is no two God or three God. That means only there is one Elohim, El Shaddai, or that means we call in Islam also Allah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus. So that Allah knowledge comprehend all things without any kind of time or any separation of space. He can therefore see and hear all things. So that the surah is opening that means about the Miraj was reflection of the knowledge. So that Prophet Muhammad was gone from where? The temple, the dome of the rock toward heaven. It is very blessed place for Muslims, or either Christians or Jewish. In this and the subsequent verses refers to Allah is generally in the first person and plural, but in the first, the last clause of these verses, it is third person singular. Glory to Allah. And when these verses start, glory to Allah means Subhana. Who did he take? His servant. Whose servant? Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad. He is the one, God. One means he is Elohim, El Shaddai. He is Ar-Rahman, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus. One means Ahad. In each glory him and whose hearing and seeing are ordinary, so limited that they can do nothing but glorify him. When one of his creature is raised up to hear and see the sign, that means one of his creature is now raised up. That means Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is not Arab. Prophet Muhammad is also not Arab, Jewish and Israelites or Christian. We must understand he is what from Ismailites. Ismail is the son of what? Abraham. So that similar to in the Bible say, I will bless also this son. This is also your seed. So that similar to children of Israel think that they are only the blessed nation. That is not correct. But there is also another nation that means which is lost, forgotten. That is children of Ismail. So that Prophet Muhammad, his progenies goes to where, and the ancestors goes to Ismail. So that we must understand, even though after many times people think that Arabs, they are Arabs. No. We told you another time. Both of them are blessed. Isaac also is blessed. Through Isaac there is also Jacob, who is blessed. We must understand Jacob is Israel, who is blessed. So don't think that you are only the blessed nation. There is also that means another nation who are blessed. We confirm from the Bible also. We have an evidence. That means I will bless. This is also your seed. While God told to Abraham the same. So that Allah continue from chapter 72. Allah say verses 2. We gave Moses the book. And made it a guide to the children of Israel. So God gave Torah for children of Israel as a guidance, commanding, take note other than me. God say, do not associate, ascribe any, do not worship other God as the disposer of your affair. So it is forbidden also according to the Bible. Taking another God, worshipping another God is forbidden. So that God saying that means take note other than me as a disposer of your affair. Qur'an also chapter 70 Surah Al-Isra verses 3. Oh yeah, that are sprang from those whom we carried in the ark with Noah. Verily he was a devotee, most grateful. God is also mentioning about Noah and those who are saved by that ark. That means by the ship. After that, God also talk about children of Israel, and we decreed for verses 4, chapter 70, verses 4, and we decreed for the children of Israel in the book that twice would they do mischief on the earth. That means about the destruction of God also talking about the 2 times of destruction of the temple, and And we decreed for the children of Israel in the book that twice would they do a mischief on the earth. They will be what? Corrupt the earth twice. The first and the second is what? The first is while that means after Solomon built the temple, children of Israel what? After Sulaiman died, children of Israel they what? Divide into two parts. That means they fight each other. After that they use sorcery. After that they bring Baal. That means after that into the temple, so that God destroy. So that God is talking about would they do mischief twice they would do mischief on the earth and be elated. So that means the book of the Revelation that was given to Moses, it was there clearly laid down that those who followed Moses must consider Allah as the only God. You must understand, Muslim worshipping Allah, the only God, and also the same is the children of Israel. Their God is also Elohim El Shaddai. Thou shall in Torah say, thou shall have no other God before me. Thou shalt not make into you any graven image. That means it is forbidden to grave from either or molten or copper image is forbidden to worship. Thou shalt not bow down yourself to them nor serve them. Moses in the Torah saying, for I the Lord your God, I am jealous, God said in Exodus. You must understand, in Exodus God is talking about what? To do not worship other than God. These are the words of English Bible. As a matter of the fact, the spirit of the Messianic teaching went further. It is referred to all things to the providence fact that the spirit of that means teaching went further. It referred to all things to the providence of Allah. Allah is the disposer of all affairs, so it is right to worship Him, who are to look to none but Him, though is Islam. So Islam is worshipping one God. The Miraj showed that it was the teaching of God, Allah, from the most ancient time. The children of Israel, so worshipping the same is Islam, worshipping one God, yet it was violated by the very people who are claimed to be it is custodian. Not the translation for we in the first close to me, so that must understand twice children of Israel they will be make mischief, say God. What is the first mischief they make? What is the second? The second is they kill Jonah. And Zachariah was also died, you know, and they try to kill Jesus Christ. Muslims say God saved him. That means he was asleep, not died. God make to asleep. The word which is used is mutawafika. Mutawafika means it has two meanings in the Quran. One is to sleep. When you sleep, the soul will be taken. The second is to dead, the real death. So that while Jesus was sleeping, that means for Jesus also himself confirms that. That means the sign is not given to this nation. My sign is the sign of what? Jonah, 3 days and 3 nights. For 3 days and 3 nights, Jonah was what? In the belly of that means whale, fish. So that's the same to that Jesus was also give before told you. You must understand the children of Israel. So that we will continue the first and the second. That means God say, with mighty arrogance, children of Israel will be arrogant twice. Will they be punished? Then we will punish them twice. Allah say. Now regarding the first punishment, when the first of the warning, that means Quran chapter 70 verses 5, when the first of the warning come to pass, we sent against you our servants, given to a terrible warfare. They entered the very inmost part of your homes, and it was warning completely fulfilled. What is this? The meaning is a good description of the war, like that means after children of Israel torture their prophets, they disobey and they follow false prophets, and they use to worship Baal idols. God describes of war like Nebuchadnezzar and his, that means the Babylonian king. God who God is sent this person, where that means with his anger, were servant of Allah, in the sense that they were instrument through which the wrath of God, Allah, was poured out on the Jew, for they penetrated through their lands, their temple, their homes, and carried away the Jewish men and women into captivity. As regards the daughters of Zion, see the scorching condemnation in Isaiah 3 verses 60 up to 26 also say that the daughter of Zion was also taken. You must understand. So that when children of Israel corrupt the land, God who punished them. Regarding the first destruction of the temple, we told you before the time 586 BC. Okay, Qur'an chapter 70 verse 6. Then did we grant you a victory over them. We gave you increase in resources and made you the more numerous in man's power. God is also talking about during the children of Israel is in exile. That means the return of the Jewish from the captivity was about 520, around 520 or 80. That means 80, because the temple was destroyed by Bukhtanasar. We called in Islam Bukhtanasar, Nebuchadnezzar. So that 586. So if we subtract from 586 70 years of the exile, we get 518 BC. So the children of Israel will return to their homeland. They started life afresh. They rebuilt their temple. They carried out various reforms and built up a new Judaism in connection with Ezra and Nehemiah, see appendix, so that for a time they prospered. Meanwhile, their old oppressor, the Babylonian, had been absorbed by what? Persia. By Persian. Subsequently, Persia was absorbed in Alexander Empire. The whole of Western Asia was Hellenized, and the new school of Jew was Hellenized also, and had a strong center in Alexandria, but their footing in Palestinian continue and under the Asmonean dynasty. But their footing in Palestinian continue and under the Asmonean dynasty BC. That means 167 up to 63 BC. They had a national revival, and the names of the Maccabees are also remembered as those of heroes. So children of Israel was respected by this temple. Another dynasty, that of the Edomian, that means 63 BC to the 4 BC, to which Herod belonged, also enjoyed some semi-independence power. The scepter of Syria, including Palestine, passed to the Roman in BC of 67 BC. Jewish feudatory king held power under them, but the Jew again showed stiff naked resistance to Allah messenger in the time of Jesus also. So that we must understand, during the 70 years of time of exile, God will give resource, money, everything, children of Israel, where they are, when they are returning to their homeland. So the second temple was finished in Ezra and Nehemiah. Inevitable doom followed in the complete and final destruction of the temple under Titus. So God is also, Quran is talking about the destruction of the second temple, not the first temple. Now we call that temple is Aqsa. Allah is talking about the Masjid Al-Aqsa, not this Aqsa, not the present Aqsa which is built by, that means either Umar or Allah is talking about what? This is a true story. So that you must understand. all of you must understand. So God is talking about Aqsa, the temple of Solomon, which is built by Solomon. So that the second is God also regarding what if you, that means chapter 70 verses 7, if you did well for yourself, the children of Israel, after we bring you back to your hometown, you must if you do well, worship your God, Elohim, Allah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. It is good for yourself. That means there is no distraction upon you. The Moses curse will not upon you. If you did evil, God saying you did it against yourself. If you do evil thing, then you are against yourself. God is talking of the warning come to pass. We permitted your enemy, so that so when the second of the warning come to pass, God is talking about the second destruction of the temple. We permitted your enemy to disfigure your faces and to enter your temple as they had entered it before, as the Babylonian king entered. So that, and to visit with destruction all that fell into their power. That means so that the Titus Roman Empire destroy the second temple. We must understand that means about those verses. This is a parenthetical sentence. If anyone follow Allah law, if you follow God law, Moses law, Torah law, because the Quran mentioned in that means we give all children of Israel Torah as a guidance, so that if you follow your Torah, the benefit goes what to yourself. You do not disperse or exile it from your land. He does not bestow favor on anyone else. Similarly, evil bring it his own recompense. So if you do evil, then you, as you saw that in the first destruction of the temple, the place was desolate, and you were exiled, you were tortured, some of you were burning, you faced many difficulty, as we know the history. So the Quran mention if you do good, you do for yourself. So that means obey the prophets. So if you obey your prophets and obey your Elohim, God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that Allah say the second dome was due to the rejection of the message of Jesus. We must understand not only the message of Jesus, but they kill also Yahya. They kill also Zachariah to disfigure your faces. Then God disfigure your faces means to destroy any credit or power. Total destruction was acquired or power. You may have got the face show the personality of the man. So that Titus' destruction of the Jerusalem in 70 AD was complete. He was son of what? The Roman Emperor Vespasian, and at the date of the destruction of Jerusalem had the title of Caesar, a heir or throne. He ruled as a Roman emperor from 79 to 81 AD. We must understand. So God say in Qur'an chapter 70 verses 8, it may be that your Lord may yet show mercy unto you after the second destruction of the temple. God is talking to you, O children of Israel. It may be that your Lord may yet show mercy unto you, but if you revert to your sin means if you worship idols, it is forbidden to worship idols in the around temples. Now in the around Dome of the Rock, but most of Muslims think that Al-Aqsa is the Dome of the Rock. Al-Aqsa is, we will show you in video, Al-Aqsa is the Dome of the Rock. The Dome of the Rock is it is the place where the Solomon temple were built. So that if you God say but if you revert to your sin, we shall revert. That means in ahsantum. So that Allah is asa rabbukum an yarhamukum. وإن عدتم عدنا, if you return to your idols. Now if you are this is a warning until the day of judgment. This is a warning until for children of Israel. So if you worship either 66 or either Antichrist or any image, graven image, it is عسى ربكم أن يرحمكم. May your Lord may mercy upon you. وإن عدتم عدنا, if you return to revert to your sin, then God will return to punish you. وجعلنا جهنم للكافرين حصيرا. Allah is but if you revert to your sin, we shall revert to our punishment, and we shall have made hell a prison for those who reject all faith. So that understand, Allah is saying the punishment, the last punishment for children of Israel will what? If for the third time they worship idols, you get into hellfire. You must understand the third. You must understand the last warning is what? You will get into what? Hellfire. Your punishment is not dispersing from your place or your temple after the temple is constructed. That means the third temple after it is constructed. God will, that means if you bring another idol on the Antichrist, it is very difficult. That means Allah will punish you, the strongest punishment. So that now we finish about the second and the first story of the true story in the Qur'an of the, that means about Aqsa or the temple. So that in the last, God is talking about when children of Israel will be returned to the homeland. When the last and the final warning is reached, we will bring all children of Israel. God is saying in the Quran. Thank you for your listening. This is the true teaching of the Quran, and so that all the Muslims must understand about those verses. If they understand, there will be no dispute between Israel or between Muslims or between Christians. Most of people are misunderstanding. So those who are hearing my video and my voice, you must share, and that means share, like and subscribe to our channel. After that, this channel only who can save children of Israel and Israel country from corrupting, from fighting with Palestinian. This all channel only who will make peace between children of Israel and Gentile making Muslims. So thank you for your listening. We will inshallah back with our fourth part. Thank you.